Hey Virgo, this is Wishko the Ferret. Thanks for hopping into the Ferret Den where we're keeping things warm, we're keeping things cozy, and today we have a reading for you for March 20th to the 26th, if I remember correctly. Yes, I did get my dates right. So, a few things before we get started. I am launching a Patreon late March, early April, if you haven't heard about that already. So if you like my stuff, go ahead and like and subscribe, do all the things, blah, blah, blah. That way you can keep up to date with my Patreon and you don't miss any more content from me. Sometimes I do weeklies, sometimes I do pick-a cards. It really depends on the vibe. I've been really on my weeklies, so we're going to stick with that for now. Secondly, we have Aries, new moon on March 21st. So, it coincides with the spring equinox, which is actually very exciting. So if you're really into astrology, you're really into the astrology forecast, like don't do that on this channel. Go find your favorite astrologers elsewhere so they can tell you all about it. It's big energy. It's fresh energy. Great for manifestation. Great for new starts. So I'm excited. I'm going to be doing my witchy things whenever that time rolls around. So yeah, definitely capitalize on those energies if you're looking for that. But for now, Virgo, let's get into it. So you could be Virgo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. As always, let the dust physically, spiritually, and emotionally settle around and within you so that you can determine which messages are for you, which messages are for other people. My messages are meant to calm, to bring joy or clarity to things that your intuition have already know. Sorry, Spirit's like already talking to me because I channeled something before then, so I'm kind of open right now. Basically, use your discernment. Use your discernment to really figure out which messages resonate with you, okay? So as you drop into your heart space, I'll be saying my own prayer. So thank you, Archangel Michael, for shrouding me with the protection of light and love. Thank you for helping me channel directly with Source. Thank you, Angel Team. Thank you, Spirit Guides, for helping me channel from the highest source, the highest truth, love, and light for our Virgo Sun, Moon, or Rising. Some of you could have like an Aries placement too, or some of you are like have Aries energy either in your charts or affected by an Aries at this time. There's something coming through. They just said Aries. I'm not really sure how it applies, so I'm just gonna get into it. I have pre-shuffled oracle cards here, so I'm just gonna roll with tarot. So interesting. Your cards are flying out, Virgo. Spirit really has something to say. And the way that these cards are spinning out is very interesting. I feel like just getting right on into it, but I really don't want to. Hang on. Oh, this is a growing experience for you, Virgo. Spirit literally just said grow. So like this is like a time like your path forward is growing. So I'm just gonna say that because like by the time I get to it, I'm gonna forget it. So the way that this card spins out, the Seven of Cups, this is in your current energies. You have some other ones, but I'm gonna sit with this card for a minute and say that you have a lot of options right now. Clarity will come with your deciding choice, your deciding factor. So this kind of gives me, because the Knight of Cups has been coming with a lot of different energies, and I say the Knight of Cups specifically because I've had other readings where this same imagery is coming through, but for some reason that same message or a similar message is manifesting on this card. So you'll only be able to understand what's going to work for you if you try. So you have to actually embrace a certain energy. You have to really, like, this is like the main focal point. Spirit says if you don't look at any other card in this reading, look at this one. This is like the main issue, is that there are just so many options. There's so many different ways to do something, or there's so many things to there's so many different things to there's so many different things to partake in. Sorry, Spirit's talking to me. There's so many different things to partake in that it's almost like you're afraid you're going to miss it all. But no, regardless of what you choose, none is better than the other, because Spirit says you're accumulating wisdom. You're accumulating wisdom along the way. So you become wise, you become more aligned with the person that you are because you are experiencing more things. You are learning what matches with you and your soul growth and what actually doesn't serve. So again, by the act of choosing rather than stagnating and just standing there staring at all the options going like Spirit is kind of showing me somebody who has all that and going and then just not like picking. Okay. And I'm not laughing at you, and this is just like Spirit's like cute way of showing me, because they literally are showing me like a cartoon dude going like it's, I don't know. But so anyway, but I've definitely been that before. If anything, a great majority of my life has been sitting on 7 of Cups energy. So like I can understand that. You also have the Queen of Cups for your current energies, and I really feel like you're interesting. So so someone just said you're really embracing your feminine side. So again, you don't have to be male or female. Feminine energy applies to everybody. So you're really like embracing like feminine qualities. So whether it's, I feel like a lot of it is like the basis could be focusing on your appearance or focusing on your what do they get? Okay, so I'm just going to come right out and say some of you, they're showing me like nail polish, makeup. Some of you might actually be like embracing those feminine qualities. For others, it's like honestly just connecting closer to your intuition and really listening to the vibe, listening to your feelings, and really, because some of you are focusing on external things that are more feminine or like stereotypically feminine, and then some of you are actually focusing more on the internal, the emotional, the I'm really just getting intuition. Spirit's coming through stronger with the intuitive part of that card. So I mean, I feel like half of the energy is with focusing on aesthetics, but the other half of it is like focusing on like your intuition. So take the energy as how it applies to you. But some of you are trying to tune into your intuition. You have a keen sense of what your intuition is trying to tell you. It's just a matter of having it manifest externally and being able to choose. Like, it's like almost like, this kind of reminds me, Spirit's kind of using the example. It's almost like what your purpose is, but you're not sure how to apply it. Or what the kinds of things that you feel like doing, but you don't know how to best manifest it in whatever it is that you're trying to create, or what path is going to help you, embrace those qualities and those traits about you like the most, the ones that you want to practice, the talents that you want to show the world, the things that you want to do for people. Spirit said something and it went out of my head again. Oh, that's it. It did come back. Some of you are focused on, or some of you are trying to blend in with the crowd. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think part of this is also just a fear of coming out, or a fear of acting out, or this is like a fear of not wanting to show the world the real you. Interestingly enough, another earth sign got that too. But I'm really just feeling like some of you might not want to, like, if you draw the attention, you draw the trouble. I kind of get is like the vibe here. And Spirit's really saying that like only time will tell, like that's something to sort out later, but as of right now, don't be afraid of the attention being on you. Just choose the path, even if it's like a path that leads to attention. It's almost like Spirit's like, we'll deal with that when we come to it. If that's like where this path leads for you, if this path leads to, like, this reminds me of somebody who like they want to have the resources, like maybe they love to act but they don't want to be famous. Or like, I want to be a best-selling author, but I don't want people to know my name or face. Like, they don't want to deal with like all of the attention on them, so they kind of want to be in hiding but be successful at the same time. And I'm not sure if it works that way. It's very hard to do. I know some people do that. There is a famous, I want to say, is it a mangaka? Is that what it's called? Somebody who like, there's somebody who wrote like the Death Note saga or something, and he wrote the story. I think it's Obata, the one that's in hiding. Is either Oba or Obata, but one of the two. I was related to Death Note for like a long time, so I should know this and I don't. But one of them is the artist, but the author, the writer of the series is completely like, nobody knows his real name, nobody knows his face, and he's like in hiding, and he's just a very personal person. So sometimes people don't, or no, like a very conservative, and like, like they keep their private life private, and but they just don't share themselves at all. And some people can get away with that, and they like that, but it's very hard when you're successful not to shine. So that would be a challenge, but Spirit's saying that's a down the line thing. Right now, just make the choice. That way you can figure out what aligns best for you. You have the Two of Wands also in your current energy, so I really feel like you're at the start of your journey where you're planning. You're really planning to see where you want to go. I'm not going to say like the start of your journey, but whatever it is that you're thinking about, or whatever opportunity that you're seizing, is really just the start. So maybe some of you have an option to continue on with something, and I don't know, I'm just going to come up with an example. Like maybe you're getting certifications, or maybe you just got a master's degree and you're like, well, I kind of want to go back for a PhD so I can pursue this thing that I can't just do with a master's degree, So some of you can continue. Some of the options in the Seven of Cups presents to you something that you can keep going with what you're doing now, but I also get some of the other cups being a fresh start, and you kind of have like the, like the best of both worlds here, where you can kind of choose where you want to go. You just have a plethora of options. So don't freeze up, Spirit says. Some potential challenges for you. Oh, you did get the Knight of Cups. Okay. So some potential challenges for you. You have Ace of Cups, the Knight of Cups, and you have the Three of Cups. So lots of cups here. I feel like just emotions in general, first of all, is what I'm being called to share. I feel like emotions in general are just hard to deal with right now, because you're trying to balance logic and emotion, but right now it's all emotional. Like, it's all emotional. Logic plays a part in it. You know that you have practical things that you want to achieve. You have things that you want to do and experience. And maybe your emotions, it's almost like your emotions are kind of clouding your judgment as to what could potentially be best for you. And it's almost like you're having trouble seeing what could fulfill you, because you just don't know. The Knight of Cups, as I said before, is about going out, trying new things, experiencing new things, and kind of laying an emotional foundation. You can't lay your foundation to what resonates with you if you don't go out and experience it. So the Knight of Cups has to be brave with his heart. He has to be vulnerable. Whether this is, and I mean, honestly, this could be choices in love as well. If some of you are looking for love and this is more like a love reading for you, it can be. But you have to be putting yourself out there and doing the work, first of all. But, we have options. If you're using an app, if you're out in a city, even if you're in a town and you have options, okay? You really do. But this is, even if you're not in like your love life or whatever, and you're trying to achieve something, we always have options. It's just a matter of you need to go out and choose and experience, and that way you can truly see what's right for you, instead of saying no to everything, or instead of just sitting there going you will accumulate more wisdom faster if you just pick one and do it. Do the thing. Three of Cups is celebrating the joys that you currently have, but it's a challenge. It's in a challenging position. So I really feel like embracing and really having fun with some of these things, because you might be so serious, because you might be so forward thinking, because you're maybe still in your Two of Wands energy where you're trying to build and plan your future. It's almost like it's sucking the fun or sucking the joy out of things. And I really feel like this is a time for you to put your efforts into just breathing easy and getting into like a playful state of mind, because honestly, that's the best way that we can connect with our angels and our spirit guides. That's the frequency that they operate on, where if you sit back, relax, and you chill, you connect with love. But also, if you dabble a little bit into your play side and you start experiencing joy and laughter and having more fun, it's easier actually for your guides and your angels to connect with you, and it'll be easier to listen to your intuition, because you're kind of letting go of the worries that stop you from moving forward. So what's going to make your life easier or your way forward right now? You have the Queen of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups, and you have the Star. So the Star, let me start with the Queen of Pentacles first. The Queen of Pentacles is very resourceful, so she has a lot going for her in terms of what's already in her garden. So you have, Spirit is saying that you have a toolbox, and they're also saying that you have some kind of a kit. And this doesn't have to be physical, but it could also, it could be physical. It could also be metaphorical, in that you have all of the supplies or all of the tools that you need in order to do this next adventure or embrace this next adventure. You also are equipped to handle this decision. You're very resourceful in that if you don't have the tools, you know where to get them. If you don't have the resources, then you're very good at accumulating the right resources to get what you need and to be successful. And I think Spirit is saying not to worry. If you're worried about not being successful in something, you will be successful in it. it's just a matter of, again, making that choice, being adaptive, and being willing to learn. The Nine of Cups here says that you'll feel very satisfied with your choice, I feel. So, like, even if you choose something and you're feeling a little nervous about it, just, again, the very act of choosing, that is a weight lifted off of your shoulders, and that feels like an accomplishment in itself. And I feel like, again, that is something that Spirit wants you to celebrate. With the Three of Cups here, and it is a challenge, but when you do make that choice, even if it doesn't 100% feel like you made the right one, because I don't think you're ever going to, sometimes it doesn't feel like you made the right choice when really you did. Only time will tell. Everything's perfect with Spirit. We are living a perfectly imperfect existence, but Spirit themselves are saying everything's perfect. You're doing everything you're supposed to be doing. Just choose, just live, experience, learn from it, accumulate the wisdom so that you can just make a different choice next time. It's okay. You can do that. So Spirit is saying that once you choose, celebrate it. That's considered a win because you took that first step, which was already hard for you. So celebrate the things that you achieve. Celebrate the things that you start, even if it seems very small. Celebrate every win, even if it's small, because I feel like this is kind of really hard for you. So, again, if you do, celebrate. Throw a freaking party. Go out with friends. Do something, even if it's like, I like to paint my nails to celebrate things. I like to go, I don't know, honestly, to celebrate. Sometimes I just take some clippings and pot up a new plant. That's my way of celebrating sometimes. However you want to celebrate is okay. The star is saying that you have gifts, so the way forward is to really embrace those gifts. Spirit just said, oh, that's interesting. I don't think I've ever heard them come through with something like that. So they said, paddle that boat. They're saying, like, paddle through the water. So I don't know if it's because there's water in this card. I don't know why that came through, but there's something about paddling forward here. You're not really going to know where you're going. They're giving me like an image of another oracle card where it's called To the Sea, and essentially it's just something where you're going out into the great unknown and you don't really know what you're going to find, but the gift here is really just in exploring and finding your way. And you don't have a motorized, you don't have a little motor that's going to stop and go. You actually have to do the work and keep like decisively each time taking the steps and moving the oars. Spirit's actually showing me this. It feels very therapeutic. I mean, really take it easy. Try not to rush through it and try not to be in a rush to experience certain things and make decisions quickly. You don't really have to, really, Spirit says just ponder, experience. Really take your time to saunter through without in a rush, without in a hurry, just so you can stay connected in your heart space and really stay grounded when you're experiencing things. That way, I know some of you, Spirit says, some of you feel like you have a rebuttal to that statement, but really try not to rush through it and try to enjoy the ride, because really embracing your joy here, I think, is very hard for you, Virgo. At least for this week. So yeah, I was listening to see if there was anything else, and I think it might actually be time to roll the dice now. So let's see. Oh wait, no, I can't roll the dice. I have oracle cards for you. Oh my gosh, Virgo. They were like, nope. I did spot this. So let's see what you have for your oracle cards. You have your dreams need a practical plan. So full moon in Taurus. You might have your head up in the clouds, but again, you need a plan, which is so interesting because Two of Wands is a plan. And again, with the Seven of Cups being like you need to choose. This is something that, like, if you dream of something big and you can't really figure out how to manifest it, figure out where to start. It doesn't have to be right. And if you find yourself going in if you make a choice, find yourself going in a different direction, you can always change course or start over. I know it's annoying. I know it makes you want to grumble and roll your eyes and go, oh, I don't want to do this again. But, I mean, again, that's part of the experience, right? It's trial and error. So the important thing is every time you trial, you have to bank on error just because it happens, It just goes to show that, like, you're experiencing life, and that's amazing. Like, it's great. It's great to make choices and experience. I'd rather be going out all the time and messing up everything that I do than not doing anything at all and just being stuck at home wondering what if, You are good enough. Full moon in Virgo. So again, you have actually 2 full moons here and both in earth signs. So full moon in your sign. I heard that, I always celebrate when moons are in my sign, but I'm pretty sure we had a full moon in Virgo just recently too. And was it you that got this card? Maybe it was somebody else. I don't know. But here it's just connecting with your own sense of self-worth. really choosing futures that resonate with you on a soul level and going like, am I worthy of that dream, and is it worthy of me? So that's what I like to ask myself. It's like, is this dream good enough for me? And if so, like, am I going to be happy there? Is it going to give me everything that I need financially? Like, yes, I want to go, let's just say like, oh yeah, I think it'd be cool to live off the grid and go like, you know, do stuff, completely disconnect, and then just write books for the rest of my life, which is cool. And I'm sure I can make it work, but I mean, is it really that practical when I have 4 ferrets, when all of my friends are in this city? And, you know, I mean, I want to stay connected with my family. You don't have to be completely disconnected from your family. But I mean, if I'm doing this, if I want to also be like a YouTuber and go live off the grid, that's not really the most practical thing, right? Because I'm like, not only am I off the grid, but the part of that off the grid dream for me would be like disconnecting. And I'm like, that kind of doesn't fit. So, you know, I mean, really make sure that it fits with your values, it fits with your life, and make sure that the dream is good enough for you. Okay, that's important too. So recognizing your self-worth is going to help you a lot with figuring out the path that you want to take and how you want to live. You have turkey spirit, give with gratitude and grace. So this is really just spirit is saying you have the freedom of will here. I don't know why they're sharing this with me. So some of you may have doubts or may feel like this is out of your control. But it's okay to, like, you can change your mind. Like, you have your will here. It's your free will. Spirit's not going to tell you what to do here. So really, it's up to you to decide. You can watch as many readings as you want. You can go to as many different readers as you want. Like, if I know people, like, and I've done this too, where, like, you know, I'll drop money on one reading and then I'll drop money on another reading just to, like, not ask them the same questions, but I'll see if they build off of one another and be like, okay, let me just pick my path. And sometimes I'll ask readers, like, okay, what am I supposed to do with my life? And it's always the same message. From my own guides, they'll tell me the same thing. They're like, well, it's your fate to choose. Like, it's everybody's fate to choose, honestly, and I feel like some of us intuitively know 100%, like, this is the one thing in life that I'm passionate about and that I want to do no matter what. For a lot of us, though, it's a lot harder than that. So that's like another side message. But giving with gratitude and grace is giving the thanks of that freedom. Giving the thanks for that freedom. You know, sometimes I've always been very frustrated. You know, that I just get this answer. Why can't any of these psychics tell me what to do with my life? Why can't my guides tell me what to do? As a psychic medium, I'm hearing like chatter. Like, not all day, but I hear it a lot. And I'm like, there's not one spirit out there that's going to tell me what I was born to do. Let me tell you something. Be thankful that they're not telling you what to do. Because the one time there was a spirit that came to me and said, this is exactly what you're supposed to do with your life. And it just added responsibility. It added pressure. And then I literally was just like, you know what? Who are you to tell me what to do? And then I realized how hypocritical I was being. And I really did value the kindness that I was given and the power that I had in recognizing that I can choose for myself. So really giving thanks to spirit and thanking them for their guidance, even if it feels like you're a little lost right now and you're a little frustrated and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to pick. Be thankful that you have the freedom to choose an experience, because a lot of people are more limited than you are. A lot of people, and I'm not saying like, I'll be grateful, but you know, that's not really like the vibe that I'm going down. But if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. You know, it's really embracing the opportunities that you have and blessing spirit for blessing you. So leaving that at that, we have chameleon spirit. Act as if. So act as if your dream has been achieved already. Act as if you currently live in your power, which, you know, we all do, but sometimes it's hard to really jump into that skin, right? So spirit is telling you to jump into this new skin to help you better make the decision for the now. If you were your future you, if you were, let's say that I'm like 10 years from now, I'm like, you know, I'm 10 years from now, Amanda. I'm like the Amanda that's 38 and has a job and has the kids that I want and had, like, you know, whatever, animals in the house, the jungle in my, like, house or whatever. I don't know, whatever. And I'm a spiritual advisor and all this other stuff. And I'm sitting here thinking, okay, well, like, what decision would that Amanda make? You know, so literally jump skins here and look into your future self. Given, let's say you've accomplished everything you wanted to accomplish, and think, okay, well, these are, at least if you don't know where you're at or the kind of service you're providing, at least be like, how do people see me? How do they view me? How do my clients see me as? What do they expect from me? So what kinds of decisions would that person make? Where would they tell you to go? Where would they tell you to start? On one hand, I want to say like you can do like spiritual meditations to meet your future self, so you can be your own mentor basically. Other times it's really just getting into the mindset of, after I've achieved everything, you know, what decision would I tell myself to make now to get there? And a lot of times it is, again, just not knowing, but just trusting that, hey, I'm going to get there because I feel that energy. Sometimes when you invite that energy in and you feel it, like you feel the energy of success, it's almost like that takes away some of your worries. It takes away some of the pressure, and it helps you decide a lot better. So now, Virgo, I will finally roll your dice to figure out what the angels are going to, say here from this Angel Numbers book by Kyle Gray. You have, that was 194. Angels want you to know that you have an opportunity to increase your sense of purpose. Be open to new ideas. Once more, angels want you to know that you have an opportunity to increase your sense of purpose. Be open to new ideas. With that, Virgo, thank you so much for allowing me to connect with your energy. Thank you to your guides, your angel team, any spirits on the other side that are assisting from both your side and my side. Thank you guys so much for helping me channel. If you liked this, if you liked my vibe, and if you resonate with this in some way, go ahead, do the things, like, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. Reminder, my Patreon, you heard it all at the beginning. So I love you, I love you, I love you, and I'll see you next time.